Welcome back to the preview show for this weekend at Darlington. I'm Casey Campbell. That is not Jonathan Field. That is Charlie Krall, who is the PR director at ARCA, stepping in for Jonathan this weekend for Darlington. Charlie, welcome. Your preview show debut.
All right. Thanks a lot, Casey. Appreciate you having me.
So, of course, big next-gen reveal yesterday. What do you like about those cars when you first saw them?
I truly do like the styling of them. I think they look a lot closer to their street counterparts than we have seen in recent years. I am a big believer that we should be racing cars that are as close to the cars we see on the street as possible.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that we're getting there. I'm a big fan of the Australian V8 supercars. I think those are just neat looking. These cars are very reminiscent of those in styling and I wish I had something negative to say about it, Casey, but I don't. No, I think they're great. I think they look good. All of them look fast. They look race. They look like race cars should look.
It looks pretty good. It's kind of weird. We're talking about the future, but this weekend at Darlington, we're kind of throwing it back to the past a little bit with these throwback schemes.
Right.
I don't know about you, but this year these teams went all out with this year with these schemes.
A lot of them really have, and there are some of them that are just absolutely spot on. Chase Elliott's, I think, is probably as close as you're going to find.
Yeah.
Just excellent. I love the fact that Denny Hamlin is throwing it back to, someone who wasn't an A-level driver. Slick Johnson. A lot of people don't remember who Slick Johnson even was. I like that he's doing that. I'm a fan of the Valvoline car with William Byron. That's pretty close. And of course, what's cool to me is the Richard Petty Motorsports one. That's Of course the same team. They're just picking out a paint scheme from their past.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic to me. Just absolutely spot on. There's so many of them that I think are just right there. My favorite is going to be in the Xfinity Series race. Michael Lynette's Gatorade car, obviously. A throwback to Darrell Waltrip's cars from the late 1970s that he drove for Dyard Racing. That's a big part of my family's past. I actually can see a Gatorade car right there behind me on the wall. So that's the one that I'm going to be pulling for. But you're right, Casey. So many of them have just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I think of course, that's right up there. But I mean, the overall winner in my case, that's the one that Justin Allgaier is running. That looks cool. It was hard to go against the one of Michael Annette because I think that one's there, but the 7 is the overall winner in my book for
pretty cool.
Favorite ones.
Like the fact that they even went with the Good Wrench font on the Good Humor, which is really cool. Don't know how many people caught that.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan Williams, who designed all 3 paint schemes for Annette, Allgaier, and Josh Berry, just absolutely incredible when you look at it. Of course, if you want to reveal all the throwback schemes, Michael Carey from TobyChristie.com and I revealed a bunch of them, and we went through all the really good ones. And it was a really, really tough one to think. My favorite truck schemes one, that was a hard one to pick too because
Matt Crafton.
Yeah, well, he's a throwback anyway. So it's
throwing it back to every race since 2005, right?
Yeah, that's that classic Crafton look. But I gotta the one that the 25, the one that Rackley War's doing, that one's a pretty good one.
Pretty cool.
Got a chance to talk to Chad Kendrick about it. That was awesome. Derek Kraus, the one he's running with the Michael Waltrip 2003 one. I remember that one when I was a kid. That was really cool. And there's one more there's so many, but
Right.
one more I want to really shout out is the one, actually two of them. The one that Sheldon Creed's running. I know that brought back a lot of memories, for yourself being on pit road, in those, the ESPN days with,
Yeah.
with Jason Luffler's, and then the
Yep.
Ricky
And
Bobby
it's
one.
spot on, man. It is spot on.
Yeah, the Ricky Bobby Tyler Anchor one is pretty good as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm not. you know what? I've never seen Talladega Nights, so it's hard for me to get super excited about anything Ricky Bobby oriented. But yeah, I will tell you that Jason Leffler, and that's more of an ultra motorsports throwback.
mhm.
Jason, I think, was right there towards the end of the Team ASE uh, plan. But now that was such a cool looking truck even back then, and to see it back on the racetrack, I'm pretty excited about it. Reminds me of the good old days.
Yeah, Chris Wright and Ron Hornaday scheme, like there looks
Yeah,
almost exactly like
yeah.
Ron Hornaday's, the truck there.
Now
Spencer,
we're getting back into throwbacks from when I was a youngster, Casey. They're starting to make me feel old.
yeah, Spencer Day. How about Spencer Davis's one? Did you see, the Daryl Walt kind of throwing it back to when DW ran the
Yeah, I was at those two races back in 2004 too. So, yeah, that's again making me feel old.
Rich Bickle's Luck 10-10-3-4-5 scheme that Tommy Joe Martins is running.
Yeah, and how about old Rich Bickle picking up the win up at Madison over
That's
the
pretty. That was
weekend in the
pretty.
Joe Shear Classic? Pretty
That
cool,
was
huh?
that was pretty good. It's still good to see Rit, and of course, from an ARCA perspective, it was good to see him at Daytona,
Yeah.
catching it there. But just
And we had Dave Mater almost getting the win there at Talladega, and Rich
yeah,
Bickle
yeah,
spanking them up at Madison. Not
yeah,
bad for us old guys, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, that was so cool seeing Dave, do that. Also, since we, of course, big news from an ARCA perspective, Derek Lancaster released from the hospital.
Yeah.
That was
Obviously, we've paid some pretty close attention to Derek's condition here the last 10 days or so, and his wife Beth doing just a heroic job of not only taking care of her husband, but keeping the racing community informed of what his condition was. And yeah, I met Derek a couple of times. He races down in Virginia, and I live here in Ohio. But I've seen him a couple of times at the racetrack. At ARCA races in the past, and he's just a super nice guy. And obviously, my heart goes out to him that he was hospitalized, but he was having such a great race.
yeah,
I think that's the part that we've lost track of here, is he was in the hunt to win that thing, man. That's what it's so heartbreaking for me, is it went from so good to so bad so quick. And um, I don't know what his plans are for the future, but man, he has proven that he can get up here and run with these kids, and I hope he's got another shot at it, because
yeah.
I think he's a guy that can win one for the little guy. I'd love to see it.
That's a lot. That's what's cool about the ARCA series about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, it is time to make some picks this weekend. Of course, there is an ARCA East race in Nashville. I'm not going to let you pick that because I think you're calling that race.
I am.
But give us good. But the ARCA East series is back this weekend. Just how exciting is it for you guys to go down to Nashville?
Oh, I'm always excited. I'm going to actually. I normally go to Charlotte and call those races from the studio at the NASCAR HQ there, but
Yeah.
I'm going to pass through Nashville and host a press conference tomorrow. We'll have Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to be at the racetrack to help us preview not only the ARCA Menard Series East race, but the rest of the season there. Obviously, Dale is a big fan of that racetrack, so he's going to come down and help us preview the season. We'll have a couple of other drivers up there with us on stage as well. I think Max Gutierrez will be there. But it's going to be great. I think there's a lot of energy around this. There's a lot of energy around that racetrack right now, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to talk about, as far as, plans 2022, 2020.
Right.
I don't know. It's not my thing. We're here to talk about, 2021. And Our friend Bob Sargent at Track Enterprises has put together a great schedule down there. Scott Menlin, a lot of people know Scott. He's general manager at the racetrack for Bob, and just doing a great job keeping that place going. And we're looking forward to it. Race wise, I think it's going to be a pretty good race, but everybody's going to have to. They're going to have to put their sights on that 18 car. Sammy Smith is going to be the guy to beat for sure.
Yeah, the eight. That's who I'm going with this weekend. The 18.
Good pick.
It's gonna be
Good pick.
gonna be a tough one to beat. And of course, thoughts continue to go out to Taylor Gray as he continues his recovery, and hopefully we'll
Yep.
see him back out there soon.
I think he'll be out there sometime this summer, is what I'm hearing, which is great. Taylor's a great young talent. Someone that I have really appreciated watching him drive. He's kind of a throwback himself. He's not really out there to make friends, which is great. He wants to win races, and I look forward to having him back on track. I was really hoping we were going to get him for a full season this year, but circumstances not gonna let that happen. But I think we will see that young man win some races once he comes back.
Yeah, that'll be good to see. All right, trucks, Darlington on Friday night. Who you got?
Oh boy, here's what's great about Darlington, Casey, is the track is such an equalizer, and it's not just because it's the lady in black and the walls are going to jump up and get you, and that's still a factor, but the tire wear situation there is such a wild card, and you just don't know how caution flags are going to fall and how it's going to shake up the strategy. But it's hard to go against those Toyota teams right now, and it's hard to go against Kyle Busch Motorsports when they're really in the swing of things. But I will tell you, those ThorSport guys are right there with them. Ben Rhodes has been so solid so far this year. And obviously I've got a really long connection with the ThorSport team. I'm looking at a little photo collage on my wall right here of days gone by, and there's probably 7 different pictures of ThorSport trucks that I've worked on or worked for over the years. So yeah, I'd like to see those ThorSport guys get back even with the KBM bunch down there. But that said, you still have GMS is still, they're still right there. Hattori is still right there with Austin Hill. It's such a wide open thing, Casey. It could be any one of 10 or 12 different folks. But I'm gonna go with Ben Rhodes this week, and I think it's Ben's year.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ben Rhodes as well. It's gonna be a good race. ThorSport's always been good. Good to see them. One of the best things they did. Toyota's just absolutely dominating this season of the trucks. So, and I think the domination continues tomorrow night at Darlington. All right, Xfinity, another tough field. Who you got there?
Who do you have there, Casey?
I don't know. I'm really, you can't go against Ty because, that no matter where he goes, he's always going to run up there. He's always going to run well. But I'll go with Cindric. I just think that, it's time for the 22 to go back out there and get it done again. So I'll go with the 22.
Those are excellent picks, and I don't think I could argue with you one way or the other. I'm just going to go with the sentimental Dyguard Racing Gatorade paint scheme number 1. I'm going to be pulling for my man Michael Annett, and we'll see how it shakes out.
All right.
Hey, that paint scheme won a lot of races back there. That 1979 Rebel 500. With the King.
It would be cool to see Michael Annett get it done.
I'll tell you what, old DW. He was a brash youngster back then, and he taught the King a thing or two about Darlington Raceway there in 1979. So we'll be pulling for. I'll be pulling for that. Yeah. Gatorade car comes Saturday night.
All right. And of course, Cups and the Cup race on Sunday. We got there.
Wow. Again, you talk about a wide open year. How many different winners have we had so far? Like 9 winners in 10 races or something like that. It's just a crazy number. The one who hasn't won yet is the one that is so startling to me, and that's Denny Hamlin. And I think Denny has been knocking on the door. He was right there last week and had, some issues with the outside wall and had more issues with the outside wall. I think Denny gets it done this weekend. I really do. I think he's been so close. He's consistency wise is head and shoulders above everybody else. He just hasn't put it in victory lane yet, and I think that changes on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Brad because, he's just, he's on the pole, that Penske team seems like they're running in a really good direction right there. So Brad
Absolutely.
K starting on the pole he's going to get it done this weekend.
Absolutely. Brad's always tough, especially at a place like Darlington. How many career wins does Brad have now?
I have no idea.
35 or something like that.
Around there. I'll have to
Yeah, and you know what's really amazing to me is, working in the trucks back in the early 2000s, Brad, his family, had a truck team back then, and just from such humble beginnings, and he got that start with Junior Motorsports, and I've just I was always waiting for that opportunity to blow up, to go away. And I don't know why. Brad obviously is a real smart guy. He's a friendly guy. He does everything he's supposed to do. But I was always like, you know what? He's my friend, and I just there's no way that he's going to go and be a successful company, because he knows me. I'm the boat anchor of the whole thing, but then he stole that win at Talladega and, shocked the world. And, but I always, maybe I'm a lot like Mark Martin in this situation. Mark always had that, well, this is going to be my last win, so I'm going to celebrate it like it's my last win, but I'll tell you what, man, 35 cup wins is just spectacular for a guy like Brad, who really did just scratch and claw and climb his way into the top rides in all of racing. So, for anybody who says, it can't be done, Brad Keselowski's he's the poster child for that story, from truly the most humble of beginnings to cup championship and 35 wins, man. It's just, it's an amazing story. It really is. And, he's good at Darlington too, man.
Yeah, that is, it's a pretty good one, and it will be interesting to see him.
Comes from your neck of the woods too, doesn't he?
He does, from Rochester Hill. Well, you're not that far away from me though.
Right. He's Rochester Hills is a little closer to you than me though, right?
Yeah, Byron's a little bit, right there too. So, I mean, Eric Jones is from that area. I know, host of ours from Grand Rapids, of course, running a Michigan themed Johnny Benson scheme this weekend for Nice.
Yeah.
Eric Darnell, throwback himself, got a chance to talk.
Yeah, again, throwing it back to himself. How awesome is that?
That's pretty cool. I mean, this I got a chance to talk to Eric this week, and got his kept his relationship with his longtime sponsor, Northern Tools. They're on the truck this weekend.
Good.
Of course, these, Cody Efaw bringing back all the fun ones. Of course, with his connections at Roush. And
how about, Eric's grandfather? Do you know his claim to fame?
No, I don't.
Bay Darnell.
Oh.
One of only two drivers or actually one of three drivers to ever end up in the lake there at Daytona International Speedway.
Did not know that.
Yeah, back in 1966.
Yeah.
Bay is a wonderful, wonderful guy. Just one of my favorite people. Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun getting to know him yesterday. So,
Eric's
Charlie,
a good dude.
Yeah, Charlie, thank you so much for coming on. This has been the preview show. We'll catch you next week when we preview Dover.